Alright, so I decided to use these two on top of this. The little mini Gatling gun and a bazooka-like weapon. Place it here on both of these hinges. And I replaced both thrusters with these two thrusters here. These were from these parts, from this section. But I believe though this was like there was like a smaller hole there. So what I had to do was I had to use the hobby knife and drill a hole. Unfortunately, I didn't have my drilling bit because I put it in storage, and I drilled the holes in there so I can put the little poly caps in there, and it's holding up pretty good. So that's actually really good right there. I have an idea for this, and I would like to show it off if I have time, but I'll do that later. Here, so these are the parts that I'm going to put on here, and what I did was, this took me a while to actually flesh this out. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things here that I was a bit of a mess and I wasn't ready. Oh, here it is. So I used this file, which had a curvature, and I began to sand to the side. The reason why I'm saying this is because the flat side, well, just to say that if this was that part, it would have looked like that, and that would have been stupid. But with the curvature, I was able to conform to the part right there, so it looks like that. I have the other one around here. Oh, there it is. So that will be like that. So it would look like this. There's a plate here, there's a little attachment here for this, and it's a little too high or it's hitting that up, so I'm going to probably end up cutting a little bit of that just so it can stay flush. And I'll probably put a little bit more detail if I find anything that is useful. I've decided not to use the bazooka. Maybe, don't know. And I was going to do something here, and I wanted to share this with you first. So, remember those tubes, those styrene sheet tubes? Well, what I did was, remember I had leftover parts from the Hawk, the missile system, the Hawk system? I took that part and put it onto this. It actually fit perfectly. Then I put like an extension here in the inside with a little, right there. And then these thrusters go here. And now I have massive anti-missile ships. Anti-ship missiles. Excuse me, anti-ship missiles. I haven't glued it on because I wanted to, have this prepared to paint. I could do a little pressure there, but it keeps coming off. But what do you guys think of that for this? Now, what I was originally going to do was use the shield. Whoops. Use the shield as a mounting. One here and one here. But I thought this would be a little too difficult to work with, considering it's going to have the rifle. So I was thinking, okay, what about here? Like something that he's holding on to, like to a weaponry or something that will be like this. I know you guys are thinking of the Solomon thing, and where there's one that's a little bit larger and he's holding it like this, but I want to do it like in a way where he's holding an attachment type system where he can then launch it. This is where this part comes in. I was originally thinking of this, but then this is a little too much, so I'm thinking of making a rig of some sort where the missiles are being held onto this, like that. What do you guys think of that? It's kind of neat, isn't it? Let me just put it again so you guys can see. But yeah, so two of these sticking out like that. So, I'm still thinking this out. Let's move forward. Alright, so a little bit more work on this guy. put a little bit more detail, as you can see here. I'm going to show you a little bit more. And first off, I decided to take some styrene sheets, cut it up, put something up front, put this little unique look to it here, this here. I was going to go all the way down, but I go, nah, maybe that's not a good idea. I haven't thought of what to put here yet. Really don't. Figured put the plate here on this side, on the other side. And I've decided not to use the bazooka. As much as I would love to use it on this kit and have the extra ammo, I thought maybe it's not appropriate. This will be for another kit, of course, if I ever decide to. So yeah, that's pretty much my intention. So I decided to put little claw plates here and there. I still have more styrene, like thin styrene sheets I'm going to cut up and dot it around all over the place, give it more detail to it. Put detail here on the head, which was kind of cool. But what I kind of like was a bit surprised that I found this part. Let me just show you. I just zoom in right now. Look at the mono eye. You see that? In my stack of leftover parts, I found this. I don't know what kit this is. I do know it's not recent. This is actually from 2008. It's from 2008, and it's a master grade. I just can't tell the kanji of what is it called. I'm sorry. I want to see if, and it's broken. So I don't know if you guys can read that, or can somebody tell me what the first few letters are, and you can tell me what is it from. It's probably from an old kit, but I don't remember which one. But the small one here, I put it as the mono eye. I thought that would give it more detail there for the mono eye. It's sticking out a bit, okay, but still looks good. And then eventually, when I paint it, I'll go and paint it the pinkish color, so that way it gives it a little more detail on it. One would argue maybe I should have not glued it, because I glued it on, and I should have popped it. I should have maybe painted the inside, then glue it. But then the glue may have interfered, will not show the paint quality. So yeah, that I'm not going to do. Put some detail parts here and here for the guns, for the weaponry in the back. And of course, what I did was I also, from one of the thruster parts, I saw these two details back there, and so I took these two, glued them on there, so that gives it a better look to it. Now, these two are not glued in; they're actually being held by sticky tacks. But I wanted to look at it and give it like a personal, like a reference point of see how it looks, and it looks good. I know this is a bit off, but once I glue them on, officially glue them on, then they'll look good. And then that way, once they're glued on, I can take them apart from here, then paint the whole thing, whatever. Don't know if I'm going to put some stuff back here or back there. I've been slowly considering not to put this, take this off and put on this, so keep it all the same. Because in all due fairness, maybe I don't want this here. I want this back there again. For the gun, I've decided to use this one again, but this time I did something interesting. I put two little cylinder styrene sheets here. I angled it. Then I put like little styrene plates there to hold it in. And then using the Panzerfaust parts that was from one of the campaign sets, put that there, so it has extra weaponry. I will look into putting more stuff on this detail and whatnot. Now, in regards to the other part that I was working on, I could not figure out how to put the missiles onto the extra gun here, and I've been trying to. I've worked on it too much to the point where I was like, you know, I said, no, I can't do this. This doesn't work. This doesn't feel right. So I began going into my. I had like a small box full of parts and started looking around, and I found some things there that I said, okay, let me flesh it out and see how it looks and what I can do. And after milling about and working on this, and I'm gonna have to prepare this arm so you guys can see this, I made this contraption. Now, right now they're being held by sticky tacks, but this part here, I believe this is from an action base of some sort. And if I put it right here, which it fits, it can go there. Now, it is heavy. I can probably fix it up in a way. Let me just do this and then just put it in there again. And then I'm thinking of putting something there so it could be straight up like that. But what do you think? Here we go. So we have a launcher system which can launch the two massive missiles. It almost looks like a shield-like setup, but I know it's a bit not the best one so far, but it's kind of cool. I'm maybe thinking of, and I found some stuff here. I have these parts here, and I could probably use it to be like a connector, and then for it to hold it up like that. Don't know yet because I haven't finished this yet, but and unfortunately for this to fire, it has to move its arm forward like this, so it could fire the missiles like that. These either anti-ship missiles or siege missiles. And now that I'm looking at it, it looks weird to the point where it's bending the arm because of the weight. So yeah, it's not going to be the best looking part here. And this, I don't know. Still figuring this out. I may end up scrapping this or not. I don't know. Because then I'm probably end up keeping this. I tried to make a flap so I could turn it, but it doesn't. I don't have the parts for it. I may end up tightening up this, putting something in there to give it more of a tightness to it. But then again, it all depends on the shoulder and how it's held up. So there you go. I don't know. It's alright. The missiles I'm going to begin detailing up more because I wanted to put some round parts around it. I actually have one of these styrene sheets bent for a couple of days, so it has a, when I cut it, it'll, I'll glue it on and give it detail. I may put like another like thin styrene sheet going down the sides, so that way it acts as like a guide for the railing here that I made. And I may end up scrapping the whole thing and then redoing it again, because to tell you the truth, this is way too heavy. Because what's holding this together, and I'm going to show you, is this part here, and this connection here. There's a peg that's like it's like really thick. I should have cut the peg and then made something around it. I don't know yet. I'm liking it. I'm disliking it. What do you guys think? Do you think maybe I should redo it again, or just modify it a little bit more and then just leave it the way it is? I wanted to set it up where like the peg can actually make it turn 90 degree, you know, like a 90-degree turn, so I could fire forward. The problem was, it's a thick peg, and I don't have any poly caps or anything to squeeze it in. I was thinking of cutting some styrene sheets and making a hole, but the problem is I don't have my drill bits, I don't have my Dremel, I don't have nothing to make a perfect hole for it to go in and do that. I would be cutting it won't work from how I envisioned it, how I planned it out. So, regardless of the case, it looks good. I still have time, so let me just continue working on with this. Your opinions or thoughts on this, maybe you guys give me some ideas or anything like that, that'd be great. And we'll go from there. Okay, so we continue building.